What's going on, everybody? Jason here, and today I finally got my hands on the last trim level for the 2021 Grand Cherokee L Summit Reserve. And just like the rest of the Grand Cherokee L's, you can get this in the Laredo, the Altitude, the Limited, Overland, Summit, and the Summit Reserve. And when it comes to the Summit Reserve and safety features, this has every single option that you can think of because it is the highest trim. So just to quickly cover what it has, it's got the blind spot rear cross path detection, active lane management, advanced brake assist, active driving assist, drowsy driver detection, highway assist system, parallel and perpendicular park assist. It's also got the surround view camera system for different angles and traffic sign recognition. So some of you may be wondering, what's the difference between a Grand Cherokee L Summit and the Summit Reserve? There's actually quite a bit of a difference. You can probably see from the exterior, but just to name a few things, you're going to be getting black deluxe headliner, and with the suede headliner and the suede pillars, of course. You're gonna get Napa Reserve door trim, vented rear seats, not only the front heat vented, but rear vented as well. You're also gonna get the Summit Reserve badge at the back, the 21-inch machine cast polished wheels, which look way better than just the other Summit that I showed you. Trailer hitch zoom, air suspension on this, and Palermo leather seats, which are very, very comfy. So starting things off in the front, you'll notice it'll look exactly like the Grand Cherokee L Summit, which it does. You've got this kind of matte finish with the chrome at the bottom, of course, and then around the 7-slot grille, you've got your standard LED fog lights, of course, and your standard LED headlights, which just look amazing. And of course, in here you do have your front facing camera, and on this one, just like the Overland I showed you, this also has the night vision camera. And of course, with all the safety features, as you can see in the bumpers, you do have your integrated front sensors. And from the side, again, it looks exactly like the Summit, of course, just minus the wheels, which I'll cover in 1 second. You've got more of that kind of like the matte finish for the chrome along the door panels on both sides. You've got it all along here, the window trim and all of that. And of course, you've got your side mirrors all blacked out with the turn signals, side camera, and of course a light at the bottom for nighttime. And you can't forget about your Grand Cherokee logo right there. Now, as for the roof, you can get this as a black option, just a standard option. But if you want a body colored roof, you have to get that option added on. This one has it, but you really can't tell because it's already a black car. And then you've got your aluminum, silver, whatever you want to call it, roof rails with the black inserts. And as for these wheels, like I mentioned, these are 21-inch wheels compared to the Summit, which are 20-inch. The design almost looks the same, but there is a slight difference, and this looks way better in my opinion. It has that matte finish to it, and it just complements the Reserve so much better. Also, because this has the Quadra air suspension, you can actually go through fording water of up to 24 inches. And if you don't have the air suspension, I believe it's 21 inches of fording water that you can go through. However, something that I did notice is if you do build a fresh factory order for just the Grand Cherokee L Summit, you cannot get the air suspension anymore. So whatever's left in the inventory when it was first ordered with the air suspension, it's going to be very rare. That's what you'll get. But now with these, air suspension is standard. And moving on to the rear, again, exactly like the Summit, you've got this nice trim that goes all the way along. That's on all of the Grand Cherokee L's, and also the really nice looking tail lights, of course. And then up top here, you've got this nice spoiler with your brake lights, and then your rear camera as well and whatnot. You've got your traditional Jeep logo right here, your Grand Cherokee L logo, 4x4 logo, and you've got the Summit Reserve badge right there. And right under the actual Jeep logo in here, you've got another backup camera right there. And then in the bumper, rear bumper, like the front one, you do have the backup sensors as well in this, and more of that matte finish chrome that goes everywhere, even along the exhaust. And this does have the dual exhaust just like the Summit. And then in the center here, you do have your hitch and everything, and you can cover it up if you don't want to use it. Now, when it comes to the towing, it depends which option you get for the engine, either the 3.6 liter V6 or the 5.7 liter Hemi V8. If you get the 3.6 liter, you're going to be able to tow about 6,200 pounds. But if you jump up to the 5.7 liter Hemi, you're going to be able to have a max towing capacity of 7,200 pounds. And as for the key, it's exactly the same as any other Grand Cherokee L. You've got your unlock, lock button, remote start, you've got your tailgate release, your panic button, and then of course the Jeep logo on the back. Now these doors are keyless entry, so you'll notice on every single handle, not just the driver's side, even the passenger and the rear 2 doors, you'll have these little lines here. So that's pretty much, you can lock the vehicle from any of these. But if you want to open it, have the key with you on the front either doors, the driver or passenger, and underneath it'll just unlock. And there's actually 2 ways to open up your tailgate. One is from the remote, so you're just gonna double tap and it'll open for you. If you double tap and hold again, it'll just shut it down or hold it into place, whatever you want to do. The second way is you're just gonna walk up to the vehicle. This has hands-free tailgate, so underneath here you're just gonna do like a kicking motion, so just like that, and it should open up for you just like that. Now if you want to hear what this sounds like, this one does have the 3.6 liter V6, so it's not going to sound as rumbly or as good as the 5.7, but just gonna double tap and give it a second, and the baby 3.6 liter engine comes to life. And like I mentioned, what powers this beast, it's the Jeep's 3.6 liter V6 Pentastar engine, which is going to give you 293 horsepower with 260 foot-pound of torque. Now if you do opt out for the 5.7 liter Hemi V8, your numbers are going to jump quite a bit. So your horsepower is going to be 357 and 390 foot-pound of torque. Let's head on into the back and take a look, because it is exactly the same as the other Grand Cherokee L's and the Summit, of course, that I've shown you. You've got a decent amount of room back here to put whatever you need to once the 3rd row is folded up. You can fold it down if you want more room. You've got your speaker system here to close your tailgate right here, and then pretty much that's it. Other than, another cool feature on these ones is, other than the 12-volt adapter, you've also got the power folding 3rd row and the 2nd row. Now like I mentioned in my Summit video and even in my Overland video, the 3rd row here will power fold down and power fold up. However, the 2nd row will only power fold down and you manually have to put it back up. So just to show you what it looks like, I'm gonna fold these 2 down first. So I'm just gonna press 3L and 3R, and it's going to fold down the 3rd row by power, which is very, very convenient to have, and it opens up a lot of room if you do need to use it. Now if we go ahead and fold these 2 down, you're just going to press 2L and 2R, and it's going to fold them down. Like I mentioned, it's not going to fold them back up. However, if you want to fold the last row up, the 3rd row, you're just going to press the 3L 3R again, and the seats come back up for you. And if we move all of this away and we lift this section up, you've got a little bit more room to put whatever you need to. And in here is your roadside kit. And if we head into the rear of this Summit Reserve, you can see it's very similar to the Summit. Obviously it's a little bit different when it comes to the leather and stuff, which I'll cover in a second, but on the actual door panel, you've got, leather up top here, this nice wood finish that goes all the way along here, which just looks very premium. And you've kind of got this diamond stitching that goes all the way along the handrest area. And obviously the handrest itself is covered in leather, even up to here. And this part is just plastic. And then more, I guess, like a hard leather or something down there. And then of course, this one has the 19 speaker Macintosh sound system, which sounds absolutely stunning. You've got gloss black surrounding the controls for the windows and stuff, which looks very, very nice. On this one, you do have ambient LED lighting all across the interior. And of course, in the rear, you do have manual window shades on both windows. And for the actual interior in the rear, again, these seats are called Palermo leather seats. These are not the Napa leather seats. I actually had to Google what the difference is. Apparently with the Palermo seats, these are a little bit more of a thicker material compared to the Napa leather, so I guess it's a little bit more premium than that. However, again, very, very nice. It's just very comfortable, and again, you've got this nice diamond stitching goes across everywhere, even on the rear seats, 2nd row and the 3rd row. I'll show you in a second. It just looks really nice. In the center here, you've got a a console that you can use, which is very, very useful. You've got 2 cup holders in here which are illuminated at night. You've got some space in here to put whatever you need to. And if we go ahead and open up the first section here, you've got a little bit of room to put a phone or a wallet and whatnot. Now, like I've shown you on the actual Summit, you would think that this part will go up, but you don't want to bother your rear people. However, this folds the other way around, so it makes it nice and flush. You can either put a laptop back here if you're using it for work, or it just makes it nice and flush once these seats are folded down. And of course, in the back here, you've got more room to put small little items. Behind the driver and passenger side, you've got this hard material back here, kind of plastic with the orange brown stitching, which looks very unique. And you've got matte pockets back on both sides, which is very convenient to put small little things. And just like any other Grand Cherokee L, you've got your temperature control for the rear, of course. Now, this one, like I was mentioning, not only does it have heated seats, it's got vented seats for the second row. Very, very nice. You got venting down here, 115 volt plug, and then USB ports, normal ones and Type-C. Now, in order to access the third row, like I've shown you in my other Grand Cherokee L videos, there's two ways that you can move these seats back and forth. The first and easy way is to just pull this little latch right here, and then you just pull it forward and you have access to it. But if I push this back into place, the other way that you can do it is if you just pull on this here, this will fold the front seat. It's not gonna do it because it's too forward, but you get the point. And then you would pull this to push it and over. But if we just do it the easy way, getting access to the rear is very, very simple, of course. And like you can see here, I don't want to pull it out because this vehicle just came in, but there is the diamond stitching in the back as well. Very, very comfy here, even if it's a third row. And back here as well, you've got USB ports, normal and Type-C on both sides, and then cup holders on both sides as well. And then I had a question in one of my videos if the third row has venting. Yes, it does. On this particular one as well, because it's a Summit Reserve, fully loaded, you've got the fam cam right there. And another cool little thing is, remember how I showed you the power folding buttons back in the trunk? You've got them here as well on both sides. So if you want to do it from here, this is for the third row, so it's gonna power fold them forward, or you can just pull them back up all the way. Now, heading into the front driver side, of course, it's exactly the same layout as the rear. You've got leather, this nice wood finish, diamond pattern stitching right there, and then of course your window controls and all of that finished with the piano black. Leather down here kind of, and then you've got space down here, your Macintosh sound system, your memory seats for both driver and passenger, and just like the Summit and Overland, you've got massage seats for both driver and passenger. So on the Summit Reserve, you only have the option for the Palermo leather, of course, which is the top of the top. And in terms of color wise, you can get it with the black Topilo or just black on black. And here you can see these beautiful, beautiful leather seats. You've got the Summit right in there on both sides, and it just looks so premium. Even the touch of it is very, very premium. I don't know if it's in my head, but this does feel a little bit thicker compared to the Summit and the Overland, just the normal Napa leather. You've got, again, the diamond stitch pattern all across everywhere inside, which just looks really premium. And of course, both passenger and driver side are power adjustable 12-way, which is very, very nice. And in the front, you do have this Summit badge that does light up at night on both sides, of course. In the bottom, nothing too fancy, just your foot pedals, and you have LED lighting, ambient lighting inside here as well on the foot pedal. And you've got your hood latch release here, and then your electronic brake right there. Right above that, you've got your lighting controls, fog lights, dimmers right here. Your steering wheel is power adjustable. So once you enter into the Summit Reserve, again, it's very, very similar to just the Summit trim level. You've got your Macintosh sound system here, in this corner over there, and in the center here. This one does have the heads-up display as well, which I'll cover in a second. The full dashboard is covered in kind of this soft leather with the, again, brown stitching, which just looks very premium in this. And like I was mentioning, even the wood trim on here, it's covered all the way along the dashboard, and it just makes it look way, way better. Your steering wheel is covered fully leather, of course. You've got more of that wood trim that goes all the way along here, more of that gloss black trim and that matte finish chrome look. You've got your buttons here for the center screen, which I'll cover. Your Bluetooth settings here. This button right here is to change things around, which again, I'll cover in a second. You've got your adaptive cruise control, your cruise control settings here. And you know, it just looks so nice. I love how they did the Grand Cherokee L steering wheel now. It just looks way better. And of course, you've got the Jeep logo right there. On this one as well, you've got your paddle shifters on both sides. And to the left of the steering wheel, you've got your high beams, indicators, and all of that. And to the right of that, you've got your front and rear windshield wipers, windshield wiper fluid, and all of that. Now, when it comes to the center screen here, it's very, very similar to the Overland that I've shown you, the Summit that I've shown you, and all the other trim levels. Just that this one has similar features to the Summit, of course, and all of that stuff. But in terms of like the layout and everything, it's exactly the same as all of the Grand Cherokee L trim levels. So you've got your tach meter, of course, your speed here, and you can change these around. So if I just press and hold OK, it's gonna change it to an analog kind of view, which also looks really nice. Or you can switch it the other way. And if I press down, there's obviously other options that I can go through, like your temperature, your map in display, your off-road options, all of that, your radio, just a lot of different options that you can choose. For example, let me go to the map for a second and show you. So it's just saying map is loading, and you've got the whole map in here. Rather than looking over here, you can just see it in the center, which is really cool. Also, if I go all the way up again back to where it shows my speed and I press the right button, it's gonna show you your night vision camera right here, which I shown you that little circle thing on the exterior. And if I go ahead and press this button, like I was mentioning, this will just show up as these options, and you can easily just flick through whatever you need to rather than going, you know, pressing down and whatnot. So a little bit more easier, and of course it has low fuel. In the center handrest here, again, fully leather wrapped with that brown stitching. If we open up the first section here, again, you've got a decent amount of room to put a phone or a wallet and whatnot. If you go ahead and close this, open up the actual section, you've got, you know, a good amount of room to put, I guess you can just see a book or a tablet or whatever. You can just toss it in there. And just like I was mentioning, the gloss black everywhere, the piano black, you can see it all along the center here. It carries up all the way up here. Looks very nice. If I open up this section, you've got cup holders for the front. These are also illuminated like the rear ones. Right above that, you've got your rotary dial with that nice pattern that matches your stop start button. Again, you've got that, and then you've got your off-road options, your rock, sand, mud, snow, auto, and sport that you can flick through. You've got your 4 low button as well, and then of course your air suspension buttons here as well. You can raise it and lower it, your hill descent control, and a manual neutral button right there. Right above all of that, if we open up this section here, you've got a wireless charging pad inside and another 12-volt adapter and more USB ports, normal one, type C, and of course your aux cable, so you can have your phone charging here and more phones in those USB ports. Above all of that, you've got controls for your heating and cooling, of course, very traditional to any other vehicle. And then you've got your heated seats and then vented seats for the driver, same thing for the passenger, and your heated steering wheel. And right above all of that, you've got your beautiful 10.1-inch touchscreen, which is standard on the Summit, of course, and the Summit Reserve. It's a very nice system that they've made it. It's very responsive, very quick, very nice. And if you haven't seen my other Grand Cherokee L videos, I'll quickly flick through this because it's exactly the same. You've got your home button here. You have 3 different sections to move around things or put whatever you need to in those. You've got your media section for AM, FM, and of course your Sirius XM, or if you have a phone connected, you can just see it here as well. If we go into the comfort here, it will load up the options obviously for your heating and cooling, which you can do from here or up from here, and same thing for your vented seats and all of that. Also, if you press your massage button here, or if you just go through here, you can turn on and off your massage settings for driver and passenger. As you can see, you've got tons of different options to choose from and different levels for the intensity. And also right next to it, if we press rear, this is for the rear climate control. You can do from here or from the back that I've shown you. Also, you've got navigation right here, so you can either see your navigation screen here or, like I mentioned, in the center screen there. Also, you've got your phone settings if you do want to connect it, your vehicle information here. Actually, let's go through here first. You've got your off-road pages. If you press launch off-road pages, you've got a bunch of different sections here, so you can see your vehicle dynamics, your accessory gauges, your pitch and roll. You can see right here, you've got your select terrain right here. Of course, this changes to whatever you change this to, so the graphic will change as well. If we go down more, you've got your suspension settings here, and then of course you can access your forward-facing camera from here as well. If we go back into vehicle, we're gonna go into controls here, and there's a few more options here. You can dim obviously your rear view mirror from here. You can fold the 3rd row headrest seat from right here as well. Check your surround view camera from here. You've got the fam cam, forward-facing camera, and then your rear view camera here. So if I go, actually let's start with surround camera. Again, you can see the top view and just different angles, so I can flick through all these different angles, and then of course from here as well. From here, I can also go into my forward-facing camera if I need to. And if we exit out of this and exit out of this one, we can now go into fam cam. Here is a camera that I've shown you in the 3rd row right in the ceiling. You can have different sections, so you can click on this, whichever one it is, it zooms into that particular area, which is really cool, especially if you have a family and kids back there. Very easy to see. Again, you've got your forward facing camera and then your rear view camera again. And the final thing is you can go through settings through here, or if you want to go through the apps and just go through all of this, which is really nice. You can set up your favorites. It has Alexa in here, your recents, categories, or you can just see all of them. So through here also you can change your ambient color for the interior LED lighting. So again, you can see here, you can change it to whatever you need to. Another cool thing is if you go back again and then you scroll down, let me just see where it'll go, right here. So if you go on the Macintosh button here, it'll kind of bring up this kind of like an decibel meter or whatever you want to call it. It looks really cool and just nice little aesthetic to have while you're listening to music and driving. And also all of these buttons up here that you see are touchable. They will bring up a menu, which is really cool because pretty much this whole screen does something or brings up a menu whatever you press. And right above all of this you have more buttons. You've got your auto stop and all of that, your lane departure warning, traction control, your parking sensors, and your perpendicular park assist right there. So like I was mentioning, this does have the heads up display. I'm not sure if you can see it, it's a little too sunny, but if you see something flickering, that is the heads up display. It's only flickering on camera, but you can change and the height of it, so you can move it more up, more down, and you can add things in there whatever you need to, which is really cool. Also, this has not the regular rear view, the dimmable one, but with this flick, boom, you've got the rear digital mirror as well, which is really nice. Above all of this, you've got tons and tons of more piano black here. You've got your tailgate open and close, interior dome lightings, you've got your sunroof options, and then your sunshade to close it, because this does have the panoramic and dual sunroof, which is a must-have. Like I was mentioning, it has suede everywhere on the roof, and of course even on the pillars as well. And if we head into the passenger side, again you can see these beautiful Palermo seats in the diamond stitched. It just looks really nice. And then more of this wood trim, like I mentioned. In here in your glove department, you've got a decent amount of room to put small little items, and that's pretty much it for this Summit Reserve. And here is the window sticker for the 2021 Grand Cherokee L Summit Reserve. Over in the top left, you can see the exterior color, interior, engine, and all of that. And right underneath that, you can see the standard features that this comes with, and you can see the Reserve comes with a ton of standard features. Right below that, optional equipment, it has pretty much everything that you can ask for in this, so it's a fully loaded Summit Reserve. And down here you see the price. Now this is in Canadian. And that's it for today's video. Let me know in the comments down below what you think of this 2021 Grand Cherokee L Summit Reserve. Is it worth it or not?